Hey Steeler fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into our Steelers Talk news and rumor video. Before we start though, go ahead and give us a mailbag question down below. Be a subscriber, and then go down below in the comment section of this video, use the hashtag Steelers, ask any sort of Steeler related question, and I will most likely pull it and answer it in a mailbag video coming up a little bit later on this week. Something new we're going to do at the channel. We've got enough subscribers, then we want to interact with you guys here on the show, and so go down below, ask any Steeler related question using the hashtag Steelers, and I'll try and answer it in our mailbag video the next couple of days. Let's jump into the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news and rumors here. Plenty of stuff going on, all in the wake of the big Melvin Ingram signing just yesterday. We talked about that on the channel, and now could there be some more signings on the horizon? The one we start with is Steven Nelson, which is a very bizarre story, but one that actually has some legit, I would say, sourcing behind it in terms of the fact that Nelson could be returning to the Steel City after being released by Pittsburgh back in April due to cap issues. So here's the deal. So Nelson had a tweet a couple of days ago. You see the quote right there on your screen. Quote, "Today or tomorrow, stay tuned." And that was on his Twitter account where people are saying, oh, shoot, I mean, we're getting close to training camp. Today or tomorrow. This came out yesterday, meaning either today or tomorrow he could sign somewhere because we've been waiting for Steven Nelson to decide where he's going to go ahead and sign. There's been plenty of rumors about Philadelphia's been mixed in there and some other teams that need cornerbacks. Maybe even New England could go ahead and be mixed in there. But now, according to John Clayton, the former ESPN NFL expert who now works in radio up in Seattle, he mentioned there's a, quote, good chance Nelson returns to Pittsburgh, which is like, whoa, okay, he's going to come back and be a Pittsburgh Steeler, which, again, is weird because the Steelers didn't have enough money to go ahead and re-sign him. That's why they released him. They didn't want to pay him his current contract, and yet here we are a couple of months later, and he could be returning again to Pittsburgh. So here is the tweet by Andrew I believe it's pronounced Filipponi, that's how you say his last name. I'm bad with last names. Either way, Andrew had this tweet kind of sourcing out the John Clayton stuff. Quote, "The esteemed NFL insider at John Clayton on 93.7 The Fan thinks that Steven Nelson could be coming back to Pittsburgh if it's in the next 24 hours. Clayton thinks there's a good chance he's coming to the Steelers." And again, that was late last night. Okay, I'm filming this here on a Wednesday morning. And so maybe by the time you're watching this, he's come back to the Steelers, he's been signed, or he's gone somewhere else. But as of filming this right now, we are inside the 24-hour window that Clayton mentioned about the possibility of him not only signing and finding a home for 2021, but it being with your Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, let me just break this down. It's very simple. I think it'd be huge to bring back Steven Nelson. And we're talking more about other players you go ahead and trade for, and there's rumors about Xavien Howard a little bit later on in this video. But right now, if you're just going to go ahead and tell me that the Steelers can add one more cornerback, and that is Steven Nelson, that'd be huge for Pittsburgh. Because as it currently stands, Nelson is still one of the better slot cornerbacks in the National Football League, and getting him in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform or back in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform will go a long way to continuing to solidify the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense is great, but it can be even better if Nelson, who was fantastic last year, and we all know when we watched that in Pittsburgh, if he brings that energy and that, I would say, statistics to this year's Steeler team, I mean, this secondary gets even better. Because even though we think that Cameron Sutton can be good opposite of the aging Joe Hayden, there's not a lot of depth behind them. So imagine keeping Hayden on one side, moving Sutton to the outside, and then not just having moved Sutton to the inside, but being able to keep Sutton on the outside, and then having Nelson in there as an original nickel slot area, where, of course, the Steelers play a lot of nickel defense as well, and so you get a lot of Steven Nelson on the football field. And so I would just add depth. It would add experience, it would add skill, and it would take what is arguably, I mean, not that weak, but still the weakest part of the Steeler defense, because the safeties are good, the linebackers are fantastic, obviously the front four is really, really good, we know that, and adding Melvin Ingram as well is going to be really, really good. But the corners are the one part you kind of go, okay, if there's a weakness here, it's going to be the cornerback spot. Adding back or bringing back a guy in Steven Nelson would be huge. So we're going to keep an eye on this, right? Clayton thinks it's going to be Pittsburgh, but if the 24-hour window passes, listen, Darius Slay in Philadelphia has been trying to recruit Steven Nelson to Philly. That's been rumored a lot heavily, and so I think Nelson is going to go soon. Might have already happened by the time you watch this video, but the rumors are saying that, and this is out of the blue, that he could go ahead and come back to Pittsburgh. We'll go ahead and, of course, keep an eye on that. We'll start with this question. Should the Steelers re-sign Steven Nelson? What do you guys think? Type Y down below for yes. If you think no, then go ahead and type N down below for no. I'm all for it. I would type Y right now. All right, before we're going to keep going here, again, we are so close to 3,000 subscribers, and a ton of you guys are watching our videos. We already mentioned our mailbag video coming up later on this week. If you want to be a part of that and ask your Steeler-related question, go down below and subscribe first to what is probably be the fastest-growing and best Steeler channel on the platform. We're trying to get you guys the latest Steelers news and rumors and mailbag videos and breakdowns as they happen. So go down below, help us grow, and subscribe. Let's continue this Pittsburgh Steelers news and rumors here, and we're going to get a little bit cryptic here. We're going to put on our investigative hats and leap a little bit for this story, but I think it's an interesting story, and the reporting behind it is is, well, we'll let you decide what you think of it, and I'll leave it at that. So you guys know the Xavien Howard stuff. We talked about Xavien Howard and how he is the best tradable cornerback on the market right now. I think better than Stephen Gilmore, and he's been rumored to want a new contract, therefore wanting out of Miami because the Miami Dolphins don't want to give him a new contract after they gave him a new contract, whatever, like 2 years ago. So we talked about this in the past where it's like, could they trade for him? Here's what it would take. Maybe, maybe not. Well, there is a very bit of, I'd say, interesting breadcrumbs that lead to us believing, or at least me thinking, that maybe a Xavien Howard trade could be a little bit more of a possibility than people think. First off, you remember not last year, but a couple of years ago, whenever there was the Dolphin trade that already happened, trading with the Miami Dolphins for Minka Fitzpatrick in a first-round draft pick, so the two teams are used to, and this happens in the National Football League, familiar with working towards a trade with each other. Now, this all comes, and again, why we're talking about this right now is because there's a former Steeler named Terence Garvin, who was a Steeler a long time ago and then went on to play the Dolphins. Like, he was never that great. He wasn't any sort of like superstar. You might even recognize his name. He was a Steeler. He was also a Dolphin, and he had a very cryptic tweet about Howard potentially going ahead and joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this all comes via a screen grab, and so we'll go and throw the screen grab up on your screen right now. And again, it's a little bit of a stretch, but follow me on this. So, there was a tweet here by Steeler Nation talking about the defense, right? TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Melvin Ingram, Devin Bush, Vince Williams, Robert, all these guys are going to be great. And then it says, no one is stopping that wrecking crew. Garvin replies to that saying, revisiting this tweet in a few days. And then the Steeler Nation said, are you joining them? And was like, what do you think about that? And then Terence said, no, but I know something, LOL. Okay, now, you're either going to see that and go, Thomas, like, what does it do with Xavien Howard? And I say, okay, that's a fair point. Or you're going to look at that and say, Thomas, didn't Terence Garvin, of course, play with the Pittsburgh Steelers and then play alongside Xavien Howard? And the answer is yes, like 100%. That is exactly the connection here. And so people on Twitter are going crazy that this is, oh my gosh, Garvin knows something about what Howard is going to do and possibly be traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers the next couple of days. So, as I said, is this a massive stretch? Yes, it's a massive leap. That's why it's a rumor and not me saying this is going to happen. It's a rumor, but you can see how the dots are going to be connected. SI.com has a really good, write-up on the whole Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback situation right now. We'll throw that up on your screen right now to go ahead and hopefully show what it would do if you got Howard to come over to Pittsburgh versus like a Steven Nelson, for instance. So, quote, this one is confusing. It makes complete sense for the Steelers to go out and trade for Howard, push Sutton into a nickel role, and have an all-star lineup at cornerback. It also makes complete sense to give Sutton the job on the outside, like promised, test out Brooks and Mollett on the inside, and let James Pierre work as the backup. Clearly, the first sounds better than the second, but the Steelers aren't always into what looks best on paper. There's also another move that they could require some waiting, but maybe not much. If Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert decide they don't feel confident about their group of cornerbacks a few days into training camp, they might make some phone calls, end quote. So, again, what's going to happen with the Steelers DB situation, I think it's anyone's guess, but I'm starting to get the feeling that with the Nelson rumors and with, of course, the Xavien Howard rumors, that they're not done adding after Melvin Ingram. They have some cap space to work with that as well, as we'll show you in just 1 second. Let me just say this. Can you imagine these four defensive backs in Pittsburgh on one team alongside TJ Watt and alongside the great linebacker play and Cameron Hayden, Sutton, Howard, Fitzpatrick? I mean, you have at least three Pro Bowlers there, right? Or at least three, I'd say, past Pro Bowlers, because it's Joe Hayden still a Pro Bowler, a little bit older, but still really good. And obviously, Howard, Minka Fitzpatrick, two of the best at their positions, if you were to be able to get them here. This Steeler defense would be, it's already great, but it would be arguably the best defense in the National Football League if you were to add Xavien Howard onto this football team, regardless of what it would cost, whether it's a first-round draft pick, a second-round draft pick, who knows. But, man, he would be a huge addition. And I know it's a stretch, and I'll see those comments saying, like, Thomas, this is some ridiculous connecting of the dots. What are we going to do, steal the Declaration of Independence? No, stop. We're just trying to show you that there are some rumblings out there, and a lot of Steeler fans, like yourselves, are starting to kind of try and connect the dots, and so we're going to show you how the dots would connect if it were to happen. If it does happen, you guys know we'll cover it here on the channel. All right, rate the Steelers secondary as it stands right now. How do you feel? Like, without Nelson, without Xavien Howard, how do you feel with the Steelers secondary as it currently stands on a scale from 1 to 10? Type 1 down below for you hate it, or it's terrible, or type 10 down below if you guys are like, best secondary, you don't even need Howard and stuff. I love Cameron Sutton. So either way, give me your thoughts down below. All right, we'll finish on this because I wanted to quickly just update you guys in terms of, if you trade for this guy, if you sign that guy, you just got Melvin Ingram, where are we cap space-wise? I'll give you a quick little 5-block up on the screen right now. Very simple. Here is your current standings in terms of NFL training camp cap space going into training camp as it stands. The Steelers are 13th with the 13th most amount of money in the NFL, and they're in a good spot, $13.1-ish million, and right around the Vikings and the Patriots and the Saints and the Cardinals. So a lot of people were asking on the comments of the last video how much money the Steelers now currently have. according to Over the Cap, following Melvin Ingram and his $4 million one-year addition, this is where the Steelers currently stand. And so they have some money, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to show you. They can roll this over to next year or spend it right now, as you saw them do with Ingram, and even continue to potentially go ahead and improve that defensive backfield. Okay, we'll end on this. Should the Steelers go all in this year? What do you guys think? I think they should. I think this is a very simple question. Yes, 100%. If you can get Howard or Nelson and you spend a little bit more money, you give up a draft pick, yes, I think they should go all in. But I want your guys' thoughts right now. Should the Steelers go all in this year? Give me your comment down below. I don't see why not. Because, how much longer do you have Big Ben? And Big Ben's slimmer and more focused this year. And so if the offense is able to move, the defense is going to be able to hold up behind him. I think this can be the final real run at it with Big Ben at the helm before getting a new quarterback next year. And if that's the case, go all in because the time is right, the players are young, and the defense, with some new additions, could be pretty darn good. All right, ultimate for the day here on our Steelers Talk News and Rumor video. Make sure you guys are subscribed down below. And again, use the hashtag Steelers to get a mailbag question in for a future mailbag video coming in either today or tomorrow or Saturday or whatever it is. So go down below, subscribe, ask your questions away. But for our Steelers Talk video, I'm Thomas Mott signing off for the rest of your day.